Welcome back to the Bernat Blanket Stitch Along with our friends over at Joann.com. We're continuing on now to week number 5. We're going to be filling in those jagged spots in the end and now making it a nice flat surface on the outside. So almost the growth is almost done on this particular blanket. So without further ado, let me show you how to fill in those gaps and let's get started. I'll take you to the studio now. So let's get started on week number 5. Week number 5, we're going to fill in all these triangle spaces. They're each individual, so they're not running together, which makes it actually more simpler to be able to follow. The trick that you need to watch for is make sure that you are on the right side. So the right side is facing up and then you're going to crochet along. So what we have is that we have 4 corners that are the same stitch work, and then you have 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 1, 2, 3, 4. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you the one in the middle first, and you're going to do all of them, and then I'll show you the edging one here, the corner one as well. It's actually pretty simple to be able to follow, and I think that you'll enjoy it. So let's take a look at the next page, page number 2. So page number 2 is the diagram, and you can see that there's only 3 rows here. These are for sections that are not involving the corner. Really quite easy, so you just go across and then back and then across and you're done. So you just want to make sure you weave it in your tails as you go and get those out of your way. Then in the corners that you have a total of 4 rows, so it's over and back and over and back and over. So it's actually really quite simple. The thing that you need to watch out for the most is right here. This one here, do not do anything with that. So when you're going to go across, you're always just going to leave that middle one empty. So it doesn't matter which one it is, leave that middle one empty so that when you come across, you're stopping on the one that is right before it. So there's a grouping of 3, so you're in the first one here, and then when you go to start the next one, that you're in this side. So leave that one completely empty so it's nice and flat for you. So without further ado, let's start this one here, the triangle, and then I'll show you the corner piece. So here we are, and I'm going to do this triangle first and then I'll move on to the corner piece just like you see. So it's 1 across and back and across, and of course we leave the middle one of the grouping of 3 empty so that you don't do anything with it. And then we're gonna do our corner starting up and back and up and back and up. So it's actually really quite a simple way to be able to follow, and I did it really without counting too much, because if you can look for where the bases are and where things are coming together, it makes it a lot more simpler. I found with myself is that once I started this, I got to understand the pattern, so I just actually kind of whipped them off pretty quickly as well. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take you to and do the little one first, and then we can do the corners after. The biggest thing that you need to watch for, my friends, is to make sure this is the right side up. So you can see, and how I can be able to tell that, you see this section right here? That is the right side, because on the other side it looks like it's not aligning properly on the back side. So you just got to watch for that, make sure that it's gonna be what you need. Okay, so just look for it and you'll see that everything looks really quite perfectly when it's on the front side. So without further ado, let's start you on a little triangle here and then move to a corner next. Okay, so what I'm gonna do, I'm going to start off with a slip knot, and I am going to start off and I'm going to look for the grouping of 3 in the middle. Now I've already done this one, so this is the first one, and this is the second, and then this is the third. So this one, because I'm going in this direction, is the third one that I want to stick my hook in. And I want to attach it with a slip stitch and then chain 3. So 1, 2, 3. Keep the straggler down on top of the line and bury it as you go. So we're gonna do a 2 together double crochet. So just going into the next one, pull through 2 and hold it, and the next one after that, pull through 2 and hold it. So when you go to pull through all 3, it appears to be 3 double crochets together. Okay, so that's how you start that. So what I want you to do is that I want you to double crochet yourself down towards the valley, and I want you can either count it down or you can look for the visual marker in order to know that you're at the right spot. So because this is my last triangle of this one that I've done, I've gotten to know this pattern really well. So this one here is the middle one of the valley. So you notice how I stopped? I just naturally did it. So this is the valley, so you want to do 5 together double crochets in the valley. So this is the middle one, so you want the 2 in front of it and the 2 in behind it in order to make that work. So let's do a 5 together double crochet. And we're just gonna start collecting, and you will end up with 6 loops on your hook by the time you're all said and done. So there's 5 now and 6. Now you're just gonna pull through all 6 like that. Okay, so now you're gonna work your way up the other side. You can not hear me counting because I'm not. So what I'm looking for when I come up the other side And I think that's the whole point of a tutorial, is to show you what to look for, not necessarily how to count all the time. So I know that there's 3 in the center. I know that the middle one I'm never gonna touch, and I know that the first one here is the last one. So 1, so that one plus 3 more, or plus 2 more, which is a total of 3, is going to tell me when I need to start doing a 3 together double crochet for the edge, which is next. Okay, so this is the one I need to stop at. So this is the last one, so the 2 in front of it need to be the ones to also do the 3 together double crochet. Okay, so you have 4 loops on the hook, pull through all 4. So without having to turn the Afghan all the way around, you don't really need to, just to be able to see it and access it. It just makes it easier and quicker for you. You're going to chain a total of 3, and that counts as part of 3 together double crochet, which will happen. The next one is right here. Okay, so this whole glob of stuff is all 1 stitch. So your next one there, and you're gonna collect the next 2 together and make that a 2 together double crochet and pull through all 3 loops. And now with that, it looks like a 3 together double crochet. So in this particular instance, you have 1 double crochet that's sitting by itself, and then you do your 5 together double crochet. So you start collecting the next 5. You can see that on the diagram too, that there was 1 stitch that was on its own in this particular row. So you're looking for a total of 6 loops on the hook, pull through all of them, and then you just have 1 that stands by itself because it was on the other side as well. There was 1 just before we did all that, and then the last 3 stitches, see, 1, 2 and 3, those are gonna be together as a 3 together double crochet. See how these are coming together here? Don't confuse this chain as an extra stitch. It's not. It's part of that whole mess, or that whole glob. Mess may not be the right word, but sometimes it could look like a mess. So you're just gonna turn your work, and now you're going to chain 3, and this is gonna count as one of the grouping of 5. So you just advance to the next one and put the next 4 together. And that concludes that. So now that you got your 5 loops on your hook, okay, that's what you want. You want to pull through all 5 and you're done. That's it. So what you're just gonna do is just loop it and pull through, and then you're gonna cut that, and you're going to use your darning needle and weave in your ends. Okay, so I was burying the other one. I always pop it to the back when I do it. And then remember, for your particular instance here, you want to go back and forth a total of 3 times to bury this in completely. So just 1. And when you do that, it'll settle down that spot as well. So 2 and 3. So that would be how you would do those particular triangles. So you'll just move down the project and grab another one, or do another triangle, and just fill those all in just like you see. So what we're gonna do now is that we're going to advance ourselves to a corner. The corners are pretty simple. There's 5 rows to do that. To do the corner, you're just gonna look at it. You're looking at the right side up, so it's the same side that you started these little triangles. You remember you got 3 in the corner up at the top peak. You're gonna skip the middle one, and you're just gonna go for the first one. So wrap that hook, put a slip knot on there first to lock it into position. Just go into that one, and then just slip stitch it to attach, and then chain 3. So 1, 2 and 3. So the next 2 in a row, you're gonna put those together. Kind of how we did it before, right? So you're gonna put those together, pull through all 3 loops. So this starting chain plus those 2 give it the illusion of 3 together double crochet. You're just gonna double crochet yourself across, and then the final 3 stitches that you can identify will each be a double crochet, or will be 3 together double crochet at the other side. So because the distance is more, as far as longer than the other distance that you had in the other triangles, it's a little bit more work in order to do this one here, but it fills in quite beautifully once it's done. So I'm just getting close to the edge. I can feel it in the palm of my hand. So remember that there's 2 together here, so that's 1, 2 and 3. So I have 2 more stitches that I want to fill in with the regular double crochet before I do the final 3 together double crochet. Noticing that I'm not counting, I'm only looking for the visual cues. So 1, 2, and 3. So put those 3 together. I'm gonna have to trim that out. And do your last one. And then pull through all 4 loops and turn your work. So you don't have to turn everything, you just gotta turn the part that you're working on. So you're just gonna chain 3, and then the first 2 are gonna come together. This whole area here is 1, so the next 2 are right here. And you're just gonna put those together with the 2 double crochet together, and with the 3 loops pulling together, it gives the illusion of 3 together double crochet. And now you're just gonna double crochet yourself across. And then you're going to stop and do a 3 together double crochet on the final 3 stitches of this section going across. So every time you cross, you're eliminating out 4 stitches, which makes it really quite quicker to be able to get it done. So it's almost like a corner to corner concept, and essentially every time you pass there's less and less to do. So I'm looking for the key. So this here is 1 stitch. Okay, all those 3 are at the end. So plus that one and that one. So that will be the 3 that come together. So we're gonna just grab the next one and the one after that and the final one here and put those together. And then that's it. So you're gonna turn back. You're going to chain 3 and then just grab the first 2 and put them together, and then just double crochet yourself across, and then the last 3 stitches are gonna come together once again. So this is the 3rd pass. There's a total of 5 passes in order to do this. Okay, so these 3 are considered 1, 2, and 3. I just happen to stop right where I should have. As you get used to patterns, sometimes your body naturally does what it needs to do. Pull through all 4 loops, turn your work. Let's keep on getting smaller, so chain up 3. Put the first 2 together. So the next 2 are by themselves, and I can tell that by the pattern, and I've also done it several times that I understand that as well. And then the final 3 are together. So this whole group here is 1, 2, and 3. Put those together. Okay, and then this is the last pass. So on the corner, if you remember from the triangle, we end up having 5 that came together. On the corner here there's only 4, so you're gonna chain up 3, and then it's only the collecting of the next 3, because there's only 3 left anyway, to be able to pull those together. So it's a 3 together double crochet, and then you're just gonna pull through everything and then just loop it and pull through, and then just fasten this off, and then just do all of your corners and just get yourself ready then for week number 6, which will be the final week to do your border. So again, like before, what you've just learned on one side, you're going to do the other so that you have nice flat edges in order to continue on with your final week, week number 6 next time. So until next time, I'm Mikey on behalf of the Crochet Crowd as well as my friends over at Joann.com. We'll see you again real soon. Bye-bye.